So in this assignment, we're going to go ahead and start using the Glyphs panel. And the Glyphs panel is where you can find special characters. Most times in the Adobe software, you can find the Glyph panel under the Type tools. So under the Type menu, there's this panel right here called Glyphs. So we'll pull that down and it will bring up this box, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And the Glyphs panel has all the special characters that are available on this typeface. So you'll see that there's the normal letters and numbers for this typeface, but then there's also other things hidden underneath here. So the first thing I want to show you how to do is in someone's name, they may actually need to have an accent mark. So for example, in my son's name, Juan, he needs to have an accent mark over the A to have it be correct. So if we look through the different characters here, and by the way, you can use the little mountains at the bottom to make it bigger. All right. So when we look through, we just don't need an A. We need an A with a line over it. So we're going to look through all the glyphs, and we're going to find a small letter A with the accent mark, and here it is. So because that letter A is selected, when I double click on the A with the accent mark, it automatically replaces that regular letter A with the accent mark. Now another thing that we do in our Glyphs panel is we do something called a ligature, and that's another special character. So you can see down here there's some special characters, and I'm going to change the FL to this one, which is the one that's really close together. All right, the next thing we need to find in this is the M dash. So if we scroll through and we look at all the different dashes, all right, so this is the hyphen, but down here, see this really long line? That's the M dash. So if I double click on that, it puts a really long line in there for the M dash. Now if I click on this one, this next line right here, this is the N dash. So that's the N dash. Now another thing that we do in typography is we will use what's called the ellipse, which is the three dots after now, and they're just not ... in terms of period. They're actually a specific glyph. So let me just figure out where this is. I don't have the glyph panel memorized. All right, so it's right here. So if I double click on that, it puts those in. A couple other things I just want to point out. You might say, well, what's the upside down question mark for? That's if you were doing another language. There are symbols in here for cents. Okay. So we're going to go to the $ now. We're going to select this, and we're going to find the pi symbol for us to replace the $ with. So there's lots of different symbols in here. All right, so down here we've got some mathematical symbols, and right here's the pi symbol. All right, so now that switches to the pi symbol. And then we're going to take the $, and we're going to find, instead of the $, we're going to find the cents, which is right here. And then we're going to take the $ out, and we're going to find the divide sign. Now, not the slash, all right? That's, not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the real divide sign, which is the dot, the line, the dot. So again, we just have to look through here, and it's right here. Some other ones to note, we've got the trademark symbol, we've got the registered mark, we've got a copyright mark, we've got all the different accents, we've got different types of numbers, we've got the upside down question mark, we've got the not equal to, the equal to and greater than or equal to, the infinity symbol. So we've got a lot of different glyphs in here. Now the other thing that you should point out is that this glyph panel is for the font that I'm currently using, which is Myriad Pro. So if you change the font in the drop down here to another type of font, so I'm going to change it to a fun one. I'm going to scroll through, and I'm going to find one of my favorite fonts, which is Webdings. You notice that Webdings, which is one of those iconic fonts, will now have symbols in it. And this is how you're going to find the icons for different letter combinations. And we'll talk about this a little bit later. All right, go ahead and save this file with your last name, and we're going to submit this to the e-learning Dropbox.